Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandre Salvador, and I'm the CEO of Intrasense, and we are based in France, in the beautiful city of Montpellier.
I'm François, and I'm the head of R&D at Guerbet, and also the chairman of the Intrasense company. The end in mind is we really want to transform the way radiologists do oncology diagnostic and oncology follow-up by providing solutions that integrate AI technology and a platform that provides the right ergonomy, which is providing also the right workflow for radiologists. So we really want to facilitate, simplify, streamline, and augment radiologists with this partnership. So why did we decide to work together? Guerbet was investing on doing some development in AI, and we have a great medical background, so we know what problems to solve, and we're able to get data and develop really solid science. But to bring the right product to the market, it needs to be integrated into a platform that optimizes the workflow and has the right ergonomy, which is definitely not what a company like Guerbet, it is not its core DNA. So we were looking for a partner, and Intrasense was taking from the other side, developing a platform really focusing on the ergonomy and the workflow for oncology follow-up. So we decided, hey, it would make a lot of sense to just work together, and that's how it came along.
Intrasense is a 20 years old company based and born in France, starting with being known for innovating in medical imaging, highly capable of developing AI, but also highly capable of integrating AI deeply into its solutions. So it was a perfect combination between the expertise, the clinical expertise, the AI expertise, and also expertise in integrating AI. So that's a perfect mix.
Let me start with pancreas cancer. The challenge with pancreas cancer is that patients arrive at the hospital to get diagnosed when it's very late. So about 80-85% of patients are diagnosed at a stage where the cancer is no longer curable. The only chance to cure is to find it early, so that it is small enough that it can be resected surgically. So we are developing an AI algorithm for the early detection of pancreas cancer with the hope that we can save lives with this.
I would add to this, what is really transforming this year is that, especially we've seen over the past years, transformation of also the adoption of, or willingness to adopt the software, the solutions. Yes, the algorithm for pancreas within the prostate developed by Guerbet are highly performing. But to be really used, they have to be highly integrated. And the questions that we are getting on this floor, especially this year, is, okay, now I trust AI, but I want to make sure, I want it usable. And this last mile of integrating AI so that it can be really used and reach the full potential for the patients, that's what we're also doing part of Intrasense, to really make sure that AI is fully integrated into the clinical cockpit, into the workflow. And that will make that AI can finally reach all doctors and have a benefit impact for the patients.
AI has the potential just to be the expert that is helping the radiologist on duty to look at those 2 or 3 slides and see the indirect, very subtle signals of cancer. And what was presented at the Congress earlier this week is an early study where there was a site in France that looked at the prototype algorithm that we have and assessed its performance on very early stage cancers. So the average size was 16 millimeters, which is quite small. 60% of those patients actually were saved. I mean, they got surgical resection on I wouldn't say they were totally cured, but they were good. The algorithm performed as well, essentially, as the senior radiologist in those cases. What we are doing with Intrasense is really a game-changing for the oncology follow-up of patients. It truly is. If you think about what a radiologist does, every 2 to 4 months, a patient with cancer has to have a CT scan, and it's almost a full body scan. And the task of a radiologist is really hard. They have to see if there are new metastases, if the metastases that are existing are responding, not responding, so growing, shrinking, and not just in one organ, but everywhere. It's very complex, takes time, it's tedious, and then the measurements, etc. So with AI, we can essentially facilitate that whole process. So find all the lesions, measure all of them, pair them so that the follow-up can be facilitated. And we are moving really away from let's just do one organ, let's lung, let's liver, to now we are going to do lesion in the full exam. And that is truly game-changing. This information is then assimilated, integrated into the LiveFlow platform that provides the ergonomic platform for that review to happen.
And this volumetric integration, this volumetric look at this thoracic abdomen pelvis zone is really one part of the innovation part of LiveFlow. By the way, just won a prize in France, this given by the French Society of Radiology, the award for innovation in medical informatics and AI.
I can also mention another study that we are planning. So it's I would say, a very ambitious one. I talked about pancreas cancer early detection. So it's about detection by chance, incidental findings. So to prove that it has some value, we need to test it not on 100, 1,000 patients, but on many patients, so 50,000 typically. And we are considering to initiate a study where we are going to put the algorithm as a second, reader in the background for a study, a prospective study of about 40 to 50,000 patients to demonstrate that we can actually find patients that would have been otherwise missed, and that those patients actually we can them having a surgery and hopefully save their lives.
In terms of real-world evidence of actual impact, the operational impact, I think the literature, there's not a lot yet. There's some first publications showing that yes, you can maximize the impact of AI. It's, for instance, fully integrated into your reporting system. But we are obviously working on this as we are introducing all those new innovations. We have several partner sites to do this research. And actually it's a good sign as the industry is shifting from really being very early adopters to this early majority, as we say. So it means that there's a real demand for AI, so more and more demand to real proof of actual impact on the workflow. I see at this stage 3 major hurdles. First of all, from a regulatory standpoint. Second one, from an integration standpoint. And third one, it's also from a, I would say, business standpoint, also how you finance AI. Regulatory, there's a lot of variation over the world. It's costly to develop AI, but if you want to prove, the very first level to make sure AI is adopted is to have the strong validation for your clinical claims, to prove this. And that's the very first level that, as we just discussed, we want to make sure we can help level up the overall relevance of the clinical reports. So there's more and more demand overall, so that's first entry barrier. Second one, as I said, if you want to have AI can be used, it has to be fully integrated. And every year you have new innovations in the imaging side, new modalities. You have to constantly retrain or adopt your model. Then you have also to integrate into very complex ecosystem, PACS, RIS system, reporting, EMR, and so on. It keeps going, and because the demand is to have it fully integrated. So this is a second barrier, and this is where we are really focusing on. The third one, yes, the business model. Either you can have an AI which is reimbursed, but for that you need to have a strong impact on the clinical outcome, or simply radiologists or imaging department will buy it from the impact on the efficiency. So the efficiency gain must be significant, hence the requirement for highly integrated solutions.
I think what we can predict is the role of radiologists is going to be really transformed with AI. If you picture radiologists today, a lot of them have a lot of stress, there's a huge burnout. It's just the amount of work is extremely hard to digest. And that is not sustainable. What we think is that with AI, the real role of radiologists can change. They can recover some time. They have the tedious tasks, the tasks that give them a lot of fatigue that are automated, and they can focus on the high value added task. They can focus on the patients, and they can also integrate more information and be even more important in the decision making for how to treat patients. So at the end of the day, you have radiologists that are more happy because they have less stressed, and then patients get more chance.
But you're right. I mean, the job of radiologists, especially in oncology, will more and more evolve. We often say, hey, it's not only looking at pictures, but more information. So it may evolve as more like an information manager who must really truly understand the strengths and weaknesses also of such AI, so they can better make the right judgment for the patient. And I really hope more time indeed to still look clinically at the patient and really have more interaction with the patient, especially in oncology, which is critical. If you really want to have a real impact on patient, you want to have AI solution that can really fully be integrated, but AI which is also highly performance, so that can be really adopted by radiologists. So for that, on one side, you need to have the clinical expertise that Guerbet is providing to go into trials. Who's best positioned as Guerbet to get into trial, eventually look for reimbursement. On the other side, you have the expertise of Intrasense, really how we deeply integrate those AI, how we integrate into this ecosystem. So when you have the alliance of Guerbet and Intrasense, this is a perfect mix to deliver really highly impactful solution for patients. So come and see us.